Hey, it's Nick here. I hope you're amazing. Today's episode, I really want to talk about the relationship that you're having with money. So let me start this question. First of all, what's the relationship to you where it comes to money? Is it something like, oh man, I've just never got enough money? Is it something like, money's kind of the root of all evil? Is it something like, yeah, I love money, but I'm not really into it? Is it something like, hey man, I just love money? Is it something like, I need that money to spend stuff? Is it something like, I've just got to have what everybody else has, so I want the money? Is it something like, money, 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 and that's all I care about, nothing else really matters? So do you see, there's so many different faces of money itself. Now, the question I suppose is, why do we have so many different relationships to money? And to me, I believe it's something to do with your value set, right? And how you were brought up, how you were programmed with it, what money meant to people that were in power or that, reflected power at that time. So people like your parents, right? They were in power, they were in control, you looked up to them. It could be colleagues, it could be work colleagues, it could be a boss, it could be relatives, it could be scenarios that people have been in. You've had money, something happened, you've lost all your money. You've had scenario where maybe another business owner put you in a financial kind of hardship because they didn't pay a bill, whatever it may be, right? There's all of these, situations. So I think it's values and situations are really, really kind of the trigger for it. Now, in business, I believe that money, to be honest, is, and we've all heard it, it's kind of, energy that flows through us and all the rest of it. And I understand that from a, that metaphysical point of view, but it's hard to kind of get it because it's on a tangible. My personal opinion is that money flows, right? The level of flow that it comes to depends on how your outlook is on money. Have you ever noticed that people that struggle a lot with money are usually people that, don't see money as a high regard, or number two, they just don't know how to manage it. So it doesn't come to them, or they just burn it into shittiness, right? And this is without picking on anyone, but you see this a lot with people that are, low income generators. If they've been given, something like, I don't know, the gift for the government from the government, when they were handing out money to help with the economy boost, instead of them spending into something cool of education, they go and spend it on the TV. And this could be somebody that, by the way, once again, this isn't a, trip out, because I know guys that are really intelligent that have burnt money into shit as well, right? So it's not about that. I believe it's the way of managing that money and how it stays with you. Now, some people get really guilty where it comes to money because their parents have gone, hey, don't be stupid and go spending all that money, and then you go to spend it, don't spend it on stuff that you don't really need, or right? So they never go on a holiday. They feel guilty. It's all of this stuff, and it becomes even worse. And then other people are just like, hey, every cent that you could possibly have, just burn it, right? Spend. Who cares about tomorrow? Now, do you see, there needs to be what I call the pendulum effect for what, to the capacity that you're moving over one side is to the other kind of swing of the pendulum itself to go to the other side. So if you've got a lot of money and you're kind of blasé with it and you spend it a lot, sooner or later the pendulum will probably swing on the other end, and you're going to be in a position where maybe you don't have that much money that you can spend, and then you're kind of in a tough scenario. Or it's the other way. If you never spend any of it and you're really tight with it all the time, you don't allow that to grow, right? So you really need to get that flow. Now, if you're in business, you really need to understand on how you manage money. Why? Because business is a game of money. You get paid for what you do. You invest into people, you invest into stuff, into product, into sales, into marketing, all of that type of stuff. So if you don't have that management under wraps and you're too worried to spend any money, or you just burn it into whatever, do you see the management of that money is going to be really tough. So number one, your values need to change on that, right? And think about it differently. And number two, how you're managing yourself and your mind, especially when it comes to money, needs to, be business focused. I don't care what you do outside that, but when you're in the business, you need to think like a business owner needs to think where it comes to money. Sound good? All right. I'm Nick. If you need some help with money, hey, we can definitely shed that light. www.upcoach.com.au. Remember, the only way is money. Up.